Hi, my name is Cheyenne Allen, and I'm going to show you the steps it takes to bake homemade cookies from scratch. There are many ways to bake chocolate chip cookies, but I'm going to tell you how to bake them using a few simple ingredients and your oven. Baking cookies from scratch may be intimidating to some, and some may resort to the store-bought pre-made cookie dough. I enjoy baking cookies from scratch because not only is it exciting to see how my creation has turned out, but it's also a way to bond with family members. There is no reason to be intimidated. Baking them is actually very simple, and I'm going to show you how to do it. I have baked cookies with my family members all of my life and have shaped their recipe into my own. Therefore, I have learned how to bake delicious cookies. There are many ways to bake them, but today I'm going to tell you how to make them from scratch instead of buying them from the store off the shelf and the pre-made cookie dough. Let's start off with what you need to do before you can start baking these delicious chocolate chip cookies. First, I will explain the steps it takes in order to be able to make these cookies. There are a few things you need to do before baking them. First and foremost, you will need to decide if you are up to the challenge. You will need to make sure that you have the correct appliances to make these cookies. You will need a fully functional oven. You will also need a large bowl, a cookie sheet, and a mixer. After getting your mindset ready and making sure you have the correct tools, you will need to then gather the following ingredients: flour, baking soda, vanilla, brown sugar, chocolate morsels, and butter. Next, I will explain the process of making chocolate chip cookies. Once you have completed all the preparations and you are ready to make the cookies, first you will need to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Second, you'll need to use Pam spray or butter to butter your cookie sheet, which I have already done. Third, you'll need to add 1.5 cups of flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Make sure it's level, you don't want to add too much. A 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And a 1/2 cup of butter into a bowl. You want to make sure that the butter is soft. In this case, I'm using a stick, so we had to microwave it a little bit before actually putting it into the mix. After adding these few ingredients, you then want to mix them together using the mixer. It's going to get a little messy. Alright, then you want to add 1 egg, a teaspoon of vanilla, and make sure you have all of it open before you start. Might delay the process a little bit. And a cup of brown sugar. And then you're going to blend it again. Alright, so now we have all the ingredients and all that's left to add is chocolate morsels. I have chosen to add white chocolate and chocolate just because it's my preference. I'm going to add them in, and you're going to add a whole bag of them. You're going to mix it in. going to be a little thick, and that's okay because you want it to stick together when you put it on the pan. Now you're going to use your hands or a spoon, whichever you prefer, and shape the cookies into balls, putting them on the cookie sheet. And you want to put them about in the same shape and the same size so that they cook evenly. Okay. And after you're done with that, you're going to put it into the oven and cook it for 12 minutes. Finally, I'd like to leave you with one last note. Now you're ready to bake cookies on your own, and today I told you the process of how to bake them. So even if you knew how to bake cookies before, you know how to accomplish it using the few simple ingredients I told you how to use. Remember to use the butter or pram spray on the cookie sheet, because if you don't use it, your cookies may not come off of it very easily. But most importantly, before you start, make sure you have all the ingredients I listed, because after all, a cookie without sugar is not a cookie. Good luck with your cookie baking.